folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you with predictions for the future. And that's right, we're going to put on our spy glasses and look into the future with my co-host here, Nina the Mystic. And we're going to go through a whole bunch of stuff tonight and see what's going to happen in the future, what we see. Nina, with your mystic powers, do you see a lot of stuff happening?
Yes, I do foresee that next year is going to be very interesting, to say the least, for sure. Yeah. So we're going to go through some of the stuff here tonight, but we were expecting Lucky Stone up in here. Lucky, if you're listening, he sent you a link if you want to come up here.
You're welcome to come. I thought I sent him a thing, unless he can't make it. I don't know. We're waiting for you. Chris Smith in the house. There you go. Jeremiah Smith too. Elderberry, Star Ruby Corsi. We got Lucky Stone, and he's in here. We got Sunset Dreamer and Star Ruby. Let's see who else. I think she was first in chat. Yay! I don't have the little thing that says play.
You don't have the little thing? Oh.
I haven't. You got one? Do you have the little thing?
Well, not here because I'm not in studio now, right? But
no, I don't have one of those little things.
I think Streamlabs is better than the StreamYard that you got.
I think you got a little more perks there. That's what it is.
More bells and whistles, yeah. But you have the feature of me being able to stream to my channel though, so that's something I don't have, so that's always fun.
I can't, when I'm on your channel I can't stream from it, but you can stream it, so that is a perk too. So anyway, hello everybody. Chloe says Nina's popping up everywhere tonight, so see,
I know, right? I was on Maxis for a quick minute until I realized, oh shit, there's a different stream that I'm supposed to be in, and I have to quickly go over there. And there's just so many streams, so many streams. Hey, there he is. So I think we guilted him into coming in.
No, I was in the back before. You guys didn't let me in. I said, oh, maybe I'm not on tonight, so I left.
Oh, we didn't see you.
Well, you wouldn't. Robert would, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll blame it on him because I'm not driving the bus.
No, I was just sitting. Well, he was messing with your stuff.
Oh, he's frozen now. Oh no, I see the internet is a little wonky tonight.
Yeah. So yes, everything's wonky.
Bear with us tonight. It looks like our internet is wobbly all over the place. So you're back now,
so, everybody. I want to explain to everybody. Nina's streaming off of her channel. I'm streaming off of my channel. If you are in the chat and you don't see a whole lot of people in there, it's probably because they're all over at the other channel. So pick a channel and go with it.
Either one is good.
Either one is good. That's right. And I am back, and hopefully my internet keeps going good. So all is good. There. Anyway, tonight predictions. Lucky, you got your predictions ready?
Yes.
Have you consulted with the spirits, and they giving you good vibes or not?
No, they don't tell me anything ever.
Stop. This is a big question. Hold the horses right here. I had my buddy, and he says, if all these people can talk to spirits and all these things, why don't they just tell us what is going on and what to expect right down to the last detail? And I keep telling him, I think it's like the code of the West or something that, they just can't give out that information. It's like a taboo or something.
I think what it is what it is that they're not going to spoon feed it to you, but they'll give you things to research, or like the spirit woke me up, told me where to go, where to find things, or if I'm listening to a YouTube or reading something, They'll nudge me when it's something important, so they do, but they're not going to actually sit there and spoon feed it to you. You actually do have to do some of the research and look it up for yourself as well. So,
well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying is, well, the question is why don't they just tell us? But yeah, they'll drip breadcrumbs.
Yeah,
but
there is a code
just saying, hey,
yeah.
Don't go down that road tomorrow because a bus is gonna, run into your car and you're gonna die. Join us over here.
Right. They're not going to say that part. They're just going to say, oh, take a left instead of a right. That's it. They're not going to give you any more info than that.
Choose your path
Now
wisely.
use the intuition. Yeah.
So is that not right? Lucky, what do you got? You talk to these guys. What is that kind of how it works?
We're free will. We have choices, and they can only guide us, but not tell us what to do, right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're called guides. It's pretty simple. It's give you hints to tell you, the better way, but you also have to be willing to hear it. A lot of times we're not willing to hear it. And, I mean, let's say people, when your friend tells you this isn't a very good idea, but you go, well, no, it's a great idea. And then afterwards you figure out, oh, they were right.
This makes me think of this video I watched just recently, and it was a bunch of guys, and they're in a prayer group, and they're all praying, praying to God. Oh God, blah blah blah. What can we do to make things better? And they're all joining hands, and they're praying really hard. All of a sudden, the room lights up, and God's voice comes down, and he says, "My good men, I will tell you the answer and what you should do." And they're like, "Is that God?" Yes, it's God. Oh my God. Oh, pray to God. And then God's voice comes down again, and he says, you need to solve world hunger and create peace. I want you to go out and sell all of your earthly possessions immediately. They're all like, did you hear something? Oh, yeah. Well, right now, God? Yes, right now. Listen to me. You know what, guys? I think there's ghosts in this room. We got to get out of here. I'm hearing voices. Yeah, me too. Okay. And they all get up and leave. And then, this is the part. It's like, when it really gets down to the nitty gritty, people don't want to make that choice, especially if you just told them exactly what to do. But it was hilariously funny. I wish I could post it and play it here. So, but a smart person, and of course, Sunset Dreamer says a smart person would listen to the spirit and, and take it to heed and sell all his worldly possession and just go with it. But most people would say, I don't want to lose all my stuff. I worked really hard for this. World peace don't really mean a whole lot to me at that point. So my next question to both of you is predictions. We have people out there that have predicted things that came true in the future, like Nostradamus, Bhagavanga, and now this guy, Brandon, whatever his name is, I got it wrote down here. Oh God, I can't remember. He's the new upcoming one. Brandon somebody. But anyway, I had him up here a second ago. Jeez. Wrote his name. Sorry. I know I have any. Sad Guru. You've heard of him. The Sad Guru.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's predicted some stuff. And then, here it is. Brandon Briggs. And then, of course, right now, we can go to Google and ask ChatGPT and the Jesus bot and see what they have to say. And I've already done this, so you people don't have to. But here's the thing.
Jesus bot?
Yes, there's a Jesus bot that you can go and
Oh.
we got EA is in the house. Sure would like to get your ideas on the predictions too if you had time. Anyway, but the thing is that the idea is that that these people can either A, see the future, know the future, or they just guessing. Obviously, some of them know a little more than they're saying, because like Bhagavanga was predicted at like 80% accuracy. So how does this come about? How do they get there?
Visions,
That's
I'm
what I'm waiting.
assuming that they're getting visions from, you know, future events.
Well, are they you know, are they getting visions, or are they getting word from the spirit who's breaking the rules? You know,
Right.
what would, you know, but that's the question, is how do they get this 80? I don't get 80% accuracy. You know, even when I do the remote viewing, every now and then I'm dead on, but all the rest of them are shit, you know, they're gone. So
it's complicated because each of those individuals themselves did it in different ways. I mean, if you go Nostradamus, he looked into a scrying mirror and he saw images. It was his ability to see the images, not any spirits telling him what to know. I don't know what the other psychics, you know, they might talk to spirits, or most likely psychics don't always talk to spirits. Some know what's going to happen. They kind of remote view in the future, maybe, or they just have a feeling, or, I mean, there's multiple ways of seeing the future, multiple paths.
Yes, and that's why they're not accurate at 100%. Some are more accurate than others, but yeah, like, and then they all have to be kind of interpreted too, because
the best example I have is that, okay, you want to go, you know, 20, let's say 50 miles from your house, and you punch it into the computer, and it'll tell you, oh, it'll take you 20 minutes to get there, whatever it says. But when you're driving, things change. You know, that's just what life is. Once you start on the path, just by starting on the path, you might change the future. So that's why 80%. I mean, you're lucky to get 80% just because of just the randomness of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like with the readings too, you know, like, you know, when we're getting messages from spirit, it could be a word, it could be a picture, and now it's up to us to try to interpret what that means for them, for the client that's in front of you here now. You know, how does that fit in with what we're talking about here, you know, and trying to figure it out. So it is essentially our interpretation of the information that we're getting. Or sometimes we'll get a download, as we call it, which is basically information coming in, usually quite fast and almost overwhelmingly. And that's what I got about about us not, you know, living that long. You know, I hate to talk about it because it's kind of morbid, but that was a download. And a lot of people got the same download around the same time, younger people, not sick people. So, which was kind of interesting, which kind of goes back to the universal consciousness that we've been talking about a lot, you know, about Augie's book and, you know, all of that. You know, is that what we're tapping into? Is it a universal consciousness that we're tapping into here? Or is it spirit talking to us? Or what is it exactly? We don't, you know, really know for sure. We just know we get the information and we go with it. And once you start working like that, you know, you'll start to pay more attention and yeah. So, you know, and then also going back to free will, somebody else mentioned here as well, and that goes for readings, that goes for predictions. You know, there's free will in here and things can change. I can do a reading for you today, but next week I can do another reading and it's completely changed again because something changed. You made changes, you made decisions, you know what I mean? And so did everybody else in the world as well. You got to remember as well. And then there's different timelines, you know, and that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, there's no way somebody will be able to get 100% on that, you know.
Yeah.
I would think.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So
yeah. Okay, so I know, Nina, you got some things that you want to talk about, and I got some predictions. Lucky, you got some predictions set up, ready to go too?
I do.
Oh, good. But I was hoping you guys brought some stuff to the table. I'm going to go through various things. I do have just general predictions, and then that I come up with some from ChatGPT, and I got some from Sadhguru, and I got some from Bhagavanga, and that Brandon Briggs, who's kind of the new predictor on the scene. Okay, and I did the one different ChatGPTs do different ones, I guess. So I'm just going to go through these, and then we'll pit some of those that you guys got, and I'll come back and I'll do some of the other ones. But here it says predictions for 2025, and it told us that Ivanka Trump will want to run for president before President Trump is done running. She will put in her bid for the 2028 run. These are almost oh no, these are the ones from the Simpsons. Sorry, this is the Simpsons one. Sorry. Big Ben will become digital. Conversations, remember this is the Simpsons one. Conversations with pets. There will be an invention to have a conversation with your pet. There will be makeup will be applied in one application now. That's an invention that's to come.
What? I look forward to that one.
Makeup and one application.
One application. What does that mean exactly? How do you do makeup and mascara and lipstick all at once?
I just don't know. That's why we're going to have to stick around for 25 to figure it out. But I imagine you probably I could see it be pre-made just like everything else, and you just push
like a mask
on your face and then rip it off, and there you go, just like that. And like you will have it. It's only $50 a pop, you know?
Yeah, and it just merges with your face. Yeah,
there you go. You can just have one set up in the back room, Nina, and just rip it off. Put that new one on.
Well, it might make it a lot more available for live streaming. All I have to do is put this stupid mask on and I'm ready to go. I mean, shit. Yeah.
There you go. Us guys, we're just handsome all the time, right, Lucky?
You'll have a mask that looks like you've shaved, or something.
Yeah, so, I shaved. Lucky's got the beard thing going on. It's all good. It's all good. A guy just grows his beard out a little bit. He changes his looks immediately. Okay, let's move on. This one could really happen. Holograms and headsets will become the rage by the end of the year. The new big thing. And you already see these headsets all over the place.
The VR.
Yes. Prediction. Robots will have a robot run theme park. Eliminate all those carnies, throw them out the door, and just put robots in their place.
There's going to be a lot of jobs that are going to be replaced by robots, just so you know. That's a prediction right there. A lot of jobs. Most jobs, I would say. Yeah.
Yep. There will be a new virus. That's all I got out of that one.
Yeah, be careful with your words.
Yes. There will be a JD did a live stream last night, and they pulled it. He got a strike on his channel. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. He's not allowed to live stream for like 2 weeks. Yeah, and we didn't even talk about it. Wasn't other than JS was showing off a gun. I don't know what the gun policies on live streams are, but yeah, that might be it there. You probably shouldn't be showing off your guns, maybe.
Yeah, it probably is not the best thing in the world. Okay, last one. Here will be, let's see, black hole is created. And it becomes a problem on Earth, and things are sucked into it. Let's see.
You saw that on Simpsons, didn't you?
Yeah, that's a Simpsons one.
Simpsons. Yeah.
Okay. This one here is predictions from Duncan Rhodes. He would predict. Oh no, this is he had this guy Brandon Briggs on, and he predicted the Trump assassination attempt. And this Brandon Briggs has expressed there will be a big thing with this XRP. I think it's a crypto thing or something, some sort. I don't know what it means. He also predicted a Great Depression. Now, he gets all his messages straight from God. That's where he gets his messages from.
Which God? That's what I want to know. Which God?
But one of the gods is telling him all of this stuff. That's where he tells it comes from, right from God, Whatever
Right.
God he's listening to, that's the one it is. He predicts there will be a Great Depression. Stores will be going completely empty. It doesn't sound like such a Great Depression. It just sounds like the stores will be empty. The devil will be talking to the Pope and influencing him. The Antichrist will become a world leader, and that guy will be a Middle Eastern man. There you go. Those are those. So, okay, we'll go through some of yours, and then we'll come back. I still got Bhagavanga, and we got Saguru, ChatGPT, and the Jesus bot. So I don't want to hog the whole show, you know.
Yeah, so the whole Pope thing on Christmas Eve, doing rituals, that is something that I want to get into probably in tomorrow's show, because tomorrow we're going to go through year end, and that was pretty much the end of the year is what he was doing there. So I want to go over that maybe on tomorrow's show, but that is some sketchy stuff going on there for sure. Yeah. But if you're able to pull up those links that I gave you there, Robert?
I sure can. I got them right here. Don't you worry.
Oh, see, I'm not going to be able to. So he's driving the bus, and yet, or he's got the pedal, and I got the steering wheel, and so I'm not sure how this is going to work out. But
okay, is this what you wanted, right?
Yeah. Are you able to zoom in on that at all?
I cannot zoom in on this anymore.
Yeah, so nobody's going to be able to see that, unfortunately.
A little bit, but
now it's a lot bigger on my end now, so I mean I can kind of see it, but you guys aren't going to be able to know what the heck I'm talking about because it's so small, right? And then there's
the thing is this is a proof. Just read it. You can read it. You got it on your screen, don't you?
There's no reading. It's just me going through it step by step, like I did last time. Okay. However, actually, you know what? Why don't you pull up the other one first?
Okay.
Because that's last year or this year, technically. I just want to go over a couple of things on that one first before I go over the other one. I got too many screens up. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so this is last year's. Okay, so I kind of went over next year's a little bit on that other video that we did on the other channel that got taken down. So I want to go over this again because this is how I'm getting my predictions. Okay, besides whatever, you know, in divination and spirit and all that kind of stuff, spirit leads me to where to go look to see, and those who have eyes to see will see and will understand what these people are doing. Okay, and they always put everything out for you to see. There's nothing hidden anywhere. It's just a matter of you having the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Right. So on last year, so this was on the Economist magazine front page. Every year they'll have something. Okay. And this was, now you can't see my cursor or anything because you're on yours. But so last year, this year, you'll notice it's a light color. The one for next year is dark. The other thing, if you I would like to be able to flip through both of them here so you can show you. But right at the top here, you'll see an hourglass. I don't know if you're able to see it. You might have to pull this up yourself on your own screen to look at it later, maybe if you're interested in this. But I do highly recommend you go through this yourself. There's an hourglass, and the hourglass is showing that there's just a little bit left. You only got a little bit more time left. And when you go into the next year's, it's the opposite. You have an hourglass that's full on the top. So, which is indicating that we are just running out of this timeline, if you will. And next year, we're starting completely new timeline. There's a whole new everything. I do believe that everything is going to get reset next year. And, you know, you see the two front figures here. They were definitely the big characters this year. Starting it off, you know, these two is what it was all about this year. And if you go and look at 3 o'clock, for those who know what the time is, you know, because a lot of the young people, they don't know what a time or a clock is. But if you look at 3 o'clock, And if I had seen this last year, I would have been like, what the heck is this? I wouldn't have known what that is. But I do know what this is now. It looks like a shipping container. And if you, for those of you who have forgotten already, in January, we had that bridge taken out. Shipping containers. We also had a strike on the ports holding back shipping containers.
Yeah.
Now, we've gone through the year, we can confirm, yeah, that's exactly what happened. And it did happen sort of in the beginning of the year, although it was January. So that's interesting, but it was sort of in this area. I do believe that this is a clock. And, you know, you got your noon, 3, 6, 9, and 12, right? So you can kind of see which month things are happening, okay? Everything has a meaning on these things, right? Now you keep going down, you'll see, of course, let me see if I can see something that's really, oh yeah, 7 o'clock, you got cyclones, you got hurricanes, you got all these strange weather things that we had. Well, how would they know that the beginning of the, you know what I mean? A year prior to doing this, right? So they're telling you right there, oh, in fall, you know, September, October, or whatever this is, if you go by the clock here, you're going to have a bunch of storms, which we did. Right? These people know what's coming because they are planning it ahead. It's not a big mystery. It's not a big, you don't need like some kind of crystal ball. Okay, all you have to do is pay attention to what they're doing and what they're saying. And then, of course, you have above that, you got the big eye, big brother, connected to all of these different things. Well, that will be AI coming in. This will be sort of at the end of the year. I also noticed the moon thing in a line. I'm not sure exactly what that is now that we've gone through the year with the moon phases there. And then you have, now I was expecting to see drones here, right? Because we just had a lot of that. There is a thing here that I guess could be a drone next to the rocket type of thing here. It could be some kind of rocket shippy. I don't know what that is, to be honest. And then you got this woman with the ponytail. I would say that's probably Harris. She was in the news all the time here, you know, in the last couple of months. That could be her. And then the last thing at the end of the year here, you got a couple of, you know, things coming out of the sky, going boom, boom. And so that's concerning.
Good description. I love that.
Right? A little concerning considering we are here now, although they are talking that way. So who knows which way it's going to go. But I was kind of surprised not to see the alien thing at the end here. But so that's this year. And yeah, they're pretty much bang on. If you go and look, so I would, if I was you, I would go and, you know, find this yourself and check it out. Even use a little magnifier to find all the tiny little details in here and see and confirm it and see, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, did that happen? Because that was this year. Now, if we flip back then over to the other one, so I'm not on this, I can't see what you're doing right now, but I don't know if you flipped it over yet. Yes, you have.
I did. How about I do this? Hang on a second. Since you got that thing up, I'm gonna change up this a little bit and give me 1 second, and I am gonna make that thing bigger. The only way I know how to make it bigger.
Okay.
And
so
we'll have it
next year.
You keep talking.
Okay, so we can go through it. Now, I know some of you may have heard me go through it. If you were following us on the other channel, I highly recommend to subscribe to the Stupid Talk Daily. Sounds kind of weird. It is a link for it down in the description of my video, because that's where we go with all our political sort of stuff, although we got in trouble and it got taken down last time, but we're probably going to be doing it anyways, though. So we just have to learn how to talk code. That's the problem, right? And know what to say and what not to say, right? But you guys, I think, know us enough now that you kind of know what we're talking about. Anyways, the beginning of this or next year now then, I'm already in the year. I'm already saying it's this year. Starts off with Saturn on top. Look, that was very interesting, the Saturn thing. And I do believe, what was the date now? Oh, January 21st, all the planets are lining up. Oh, and isn't that right in the inauguration thingy that you have going on over there in the state?
It is January 20th is
Oh,
a
boy. Yeah. So all the planets are lining up. So look out for that time period. I think there might be some things going on there.
Is that big enough for you, Nina? There you go. That's big.
You can, okay, so you can probably see it better than I can now. Then maybe let me go over to the. Oh, I can see it better over on the YouTube now than I can on my screen. There you go. Perfect. Okay, so right underneath here, you have big cities, and then you got China right there, beginning of the year. I would say if you're going to go by a clock, you know what I mean, as to time frames when these things are going to be, you know what I mean, in the headlines. So right away, we're seeing China. So my predictions then is that there's going to be something with China coming up real soon, like in the next month or so. Mm-hmm. And then right underneath there, you'll see the time, the hourglass that I talked about. This time, though, this year or next year, it's full. It's just been flipped over. Okay. So to me, this is representing that was the old. We're done with the old. Now we're flipping over to a whole new system. Maybe I don't know what you want to call it. I don't want to call it timeline because it's not a shifting on the timeline, but it's a shifting of everything. The shifting of the guards, shifting of power systems here on this planet, not just in your country, but for the planet. We're talking here now. And so we're starting something completely new. And right next to it, I see an Asian eye. Now, I was watching somebody else decoding this, and if you actually zoom right into that eye, you'll see all these bricks and like computer type of things and that kind of thing. So I'm sure that has a lot of meaning to it as well. Well, let's see if Robert's able to. Which has meaning. So to me, it's like China's watching, you know, that could be the whole TikTok thing. I've heard that might be a thing of the past. They want to get rid of the TikTok. I'm so glad I never went on there. But that is definitely a way that China is definitely watching everything that we're doing. You know, and now we can't see the rest of it though. If you want to make it a little smaller so we can go through it all.
I was just going through as you went with larging one. So,
yeah, okay. Yeah, so I don't know exactly, you know, it is definitely an Asian eye. You know, them keeping an eye on us, considering that guy's right up there, beginning of the year. So they're definitely going to be, you know, major in the news about the Asian countries here. Then, and this is what kind of saddens me the most, to be honest with you, is right underneath the hourglass, you got the world, and then you got what looks like the thing that we went through in 20. And I do believe we are about to go through that whole thing again. The bird flu thingamajig is on the rise, and I do believe we're going to be going through, and that's right around 3 o'clock, I would say around March. Same time as last time, there's going to be another lockdown, and then we'll have to go through the whole rigmarole of the procedure again, being forced to again. So that is a little concerning. However, you know, if you guys are prepped, you know, be prepared for a lockdown. Do you have everything? Even if they shut down all the stores, even if China decides not to export it, like we're not going to be importing, exporting, obviously, if we're going through that kind of situation. So we're going to be having shortage of supplies and all that kind of stuff. We just went through it. I don't have to tell you guys, you know, what it's like. So, but this time, though, you're going to be a little bit more prepared. We're not going to believe the 2 weeks to flatten the curve anymore. You know what I mean? We know we're going to have to go through a bit of a bumpy ride. So the question here is, how serious is that situation? Is it going to be like last time when it was like, wah, wah, wah? Or is it going to be, oh, shit, You know what I mean? Again, I don't know if for sure, right? So be prepared for that, I would say, in spring. And then right underneath there, now you got Putin. So now we got Russia. And then we got right underneath that procedure thing there, we got, I think that's a nuclear symbol, is it not? Something like that. It's
the atom. That could be chemicals. That could be nuclear. It could be radiation. I don't know, whatever it represents.
That's what we got to worry about for us, right? It's the radiation. We don't have to really worry about too much else. That's what's going to get us, right? If we survive as a survivor. So that is, so bam, bam. So first we go through that, and then bam, then we got Putin and this sign. Is that coming up here in like April, May? That area, And then carry on down, here we got the arm, protest, civil unrest, all of that. I mean, if all of that stuff has been going on, people are going to be upset. So by June, people are going to be upset. There's going to be civil unrest. And that lady right next to that hand, she is famous. I can't remember her name now, but she is famous for that. Social justice, all of that kind of stuff. So that's going to be on the rise there in the summer from the looks of it. So expect that. Again, prepare for that. And especially if you're in the city, that's going to be another issue that you might want to stay home as well for that reason alone, So, you want to make your home as comfortable as possible, just in case you have to stay there for a long period of time. Now you got all these arrows going up, is that markets? We don't know. Well, the dollar sign is definitely in here. Then we got that weird ass smile over here. I'm not sure whose mouth is that exactly. I don't know if anybody knows in the chat, maybe, who's smiling here. It's kind of creepy. And then you got Zelensky over here, so there's going to be more issues with Ukraine, I guess. And then a sort of kitty corner from Zelensky, you got the factory here. Now that has a little red flag for me, because we don't have those anymore. We've outsourced all of the factories to China. Now, are we going to be having issues with China, where China says, F you, we're not exporting nothing to you no more? That means that, all our shit's not coming, and might mean that we have to actually start up with that again. And we're not going to be happy about that. But that's where the bots come in, and they'll be taking over all those jobs and whatever. I don't know. But that could be, we might be going back into factories again if we are, in hot water with China. So, and then another, I'm not sure what that is right next to that, but the one above there, that white box looking thing. I actually, I was on, like I said, a different live stream, and I had a bit of a close up, and they were joking about, Kleenex box. But no, when I'm looking at that box, I'm thinking ballot box.
Yes, voting.
What box would you have on an Economist, front page? It won't be a Kleenex box, I can tell you that. It'll be a ballot box, though. And the ballot box is all, what do you want to call it? Broken. It's all broken up. It's all smashed up. And so that tells me, and this is kind of like fallish time. I know here in Canada, if we make it that far, there will be another election here. They're talking already of Trudeau in January already. So I don't know if Trudeau's going to make it to October before he's released. But either way, whether we have an election here or not, I think the whole election thing as we know it is going to be gone. That's going to be a whole nother thing going on. And I think that, to me, this is my interpretation of this. That's what I think this means. The election ballot box thingy, that's going to be a thing of the past. It's not going to be done that way anymore. Then you keep going up. This is one of your leaders up there. I can't remember her name. You probably know who she is.
Nope. Lucky you know who this is?
Is she not in your cabinet? She's one of your leaders. There's the movers and shakers over there in the States. I can't remember what her name is or what she does because I don't pay that much attention to the politics, to be
No,
honest with you.
no clue. No clue.
So I don't know. So you guys can look her up yourself. You'll kind of know if she's going to be in the headlines, whatever she stands for. That's kind of what's going to be in the headlines come fall here. You know what I mean? And then right next to her is another one of these nuke or radiation type of symbols again inside an eye. So I don't know what you want to make out for that, you know. And then you got the world up top here again, and then you got these three Y things here, and I found out it means Mercury.
Ah, yeah.
There might be maybe a shortage of the Mercury, and actually in last year's thing, you saw the, or is it in this one? Maybe it is in this one. Let's scroll down or bring it out a bit more so we can see the whole thing. I do believe there's a car in here. Or was it last year? I can't remember now.
It's the
there it is. There's a car. EV cars. Yes. And Trump, of course, is in the middle of everything. Okay. Trump is in the middle of everything. There's that car with the electrical symbol, which means the EV cars. And if we're in trouble with China, if we don't have you know, our parts, I think there's going to be an issue with parts. I think the electrical car is going to be a bust. I don't think we're going to have the parts for it. We're going to be short of mercury. We're going to be short of that lithium. And a lot of our stuff is being made in Taiwan, which is in hot water right now. So if you take out Taiwan, you can say goodbye to a lot of technical things. So there's going to be some new changes with that whole thing. And they shouldn't have gone with the electrical thing in the first place, but whatever. So there's definitely something going on there. And like I said, you see Trump, you see dollar signs. The arrows, I don't know. There's an arrow going up here, an arrow going up here. I'm not sure what that's all about.
Well, arrows like that are for stock market. One, you notice one is in red.
But it's not going down. See, the arrows aren't going down. I could see if it was going down.
No, but you know they ain't gonna put them down. But you notice that one is in red and one is in black. And what is, you know, red is, well, we're in the red, people, or we're in the black. We're in the clear. That's why it's called Black Friday. You know what I mean? It's to get you into the good. So we start out the year in the good. By the time we get to the middle, we're in the red. I mean, you know, that's not a good sign. You know, if you're really looking at the symbolism there, that would probably be how I would try to indicate the stock market. Right? Yeah.
I don't know if it does, because in the last year's one, they used different graphs for it. It was very obvious that that's what they're talking about. So I'm not 100% sure what that's all about. You know, if we're able to like really close up, I'm sure you'll be able to see all kinds of things in here that we just can't see here. And so I do urge you guys to go and check this out yourself. But yeah, so, you know, these people, you know, they put this stuff out there for all of us to see, you know, and it's up to us to interpret it, you know, and pay attention, you know, because it is a karma thing that they have to tell us ahead of time before they do something. There is something to that. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting year for sure.
Absolutely. I hope I did your thing justice by blowing it up.
Yeah, I hope I did the justice. I don't know if I was able to, you know, but yeah, there's a lot of people with videos out there decoding this stuff. So you go and check it out. You know what I mean? A lot of the Christian channels, of course, will have their Christian spin on it, you know, the end times type of thing. But yeah,
we're going to get into a little bit of
skim through it. Too. Skim through it. Yeah. No, I didn't pay attention to the chat. I guess I'll do that now to see what you guys are saying.
Okay, well, we're up to you, Lucky. What do you see on the horizon here?
I see only greatness and positivity. I think that basically the things will work out. That the wars will basically not peter out and end. Fighting will end. There's more of a peace thing going on. Like him or hate him, Trump just knows how to talk to these people, and I think that things are might be much more peaceful.
I tend to agree with that because Trump, he's a wild card. versus we know what to expect if the Democrats had gotten in and Kamala would have got elected. We know what would have actually happened. I mean, there's no question what would be going on. But with Trump, that coin could flip either way. You know, he could get us out of a jam, or he could get us in a big jam, one or the other. It's going to go one way or the other. You're right. You're totally right.
No, I didn't say he's going to get it. I think he's going to be I think he's going to be able to get us out of the jam. I think that he's going to figure, because Israel, that's almost all over anyways. And then our big problem is China. I think he's going to scare China, but basically then pull back. And I think he's going to play the game where he's going to do something really big and grandiose. That's what Trump does. Mm-hmm. And then China, of course, is going to react. And then he's going to back up again. So China gets to win, and then Trump gets to win. I think everything's going to be settled in a most positive way, because he knows how to play the game.
Yes. And
well, being
that's what I'm saying.
As a leader, of course, you have to be able to, talk and make people happy. I mean, if not, people aren't going to vote for you. People aren't going to, you know what I mean? So you have to give them a lot of good, let them eat cake, that kind of thing.
We got stop right there, Nina. He's a lame duck right off the bat. He can only go 4 years. And I think Sunset Dreamer said, yeah, it's only 4 years. Thanks for reminding me. And that's the thing. So he doesn't have to look for votes. He can do whatever he wants. He has no worries about votes.
No, not for the votes now, but the votes prior to. So, he did talk a lot of game, oh yeah, I'm going to bring in, all kinds of he lied.
See what happens in our elections is that the guy gets in, and in the first year he does a bunch of stuff, and then by the second or third year he's already trying to make concessions so that he can smooth the way in so he can get reelected on the fourth year again. Whereas Trump don't have to worry about that.
Well, he does, because his daughter, like you said, is probably going to be running, right? So it's their team. It doesn't matter him, her, whatever. It's the same team. I lost where I was going with that earlier now.
Well, anyway.
Like normally people wait until like January until you're in before you start, doing things. But Trump didn't even worry about that. He started right off the bat. He told people that he was going to have libertarians in the cabinet. Oh, no matter who he was talking to. Oh, yeah, we're going to have, people from your thing there. No, he didn't. Every single person that's in the cabinet that he's already assigned to, they're all Jewish. Every single one. There's nothing else. He's not even he doesn't even wait until January. All the things he said.
Well, they still have, these are all the people he nominated. They still have to be approved by the Senate. But Biden did the same thing when he came in. He says, I'm gonna fill that seat with a black woman. Like what? You didn't even, you just said
he's trying to get the black votes.
But that's the thing. He was pulling seats already too.
No, it's not. There's no Christians at all in there. They're all Jewish.
I know, and that's the way he's going to run things. That's the way he's going to run things. I can't do anything about it.
Look out. That's all I'm gonna say about Trump. I have nothing good to say about that man, but.
Okay. Well,
anyway.
I know you don't. Well, Lucky, I really do hope that your prediction on that comes true, because that would make us all feel really good and make the world a better place to live. That's for sure. Anything else you want to add to that?
I think Amazon's going to have a really big problem, and it's going to result in a lot of small businesses taking off, and that by the end of the year, the group of small businesses that took over will out-compete Amazon, and Amazon's going to have a lot of trouble. Going to have a lot of those warehouses are going to be a big problem because their shipments are going to go down remarkably.
Nice, yeah. Well, that'd be good to bring small business back. That is definitely for sure. Because we want that because small businesses thrive. That's what makes America. You know,
Well, that would
without
be nice. It would be nice, but I don't know. If they want to keep us inside, I think delivery is the way of the future then. And the way I'm seeing it is drones, actually. The delivery drivers are going to be a thing of the past. Everything gets delivered by drones, and that's from what I can see. What I've seen out there, that's the way it's going. I don't see small business surviving at all.
But then again, something big could happen that we don't know about and collapse the system. Like up by you, the post office quit delivering. Well, does that make drones more usable because there's no post? Yes. But if, say, the post office decides to start using, whatever, up the rates on the deliveries because they got to use drones, well, maybe Amazon can't afford the postage.
No, the thing is, Robert, is that it's actually going to be cheaper using drones. Having to hire people, it costs a lot of money. And people aren't reliable. They're calling sick. They want to have vacations.
Well,
drones don't need any of that. You know what I mean?
I didn't know. I didn't know, but Chris Smith's Amazon distribution center in Los Angeles went on the strike before Christmas. Well, somebody ain't gonna get their stuff now, aren't they?
Yeah, I know.
So what happened
with the Canadian Postal Service, and I've seen it with a lot of live streamers who also have merch stores or websites and stuff that they sell stuff. They were like, you know what? We can get it half the price privately. Canada Post has basically outstriked themselves out of a job here now. A lot of them are like, yeah, we're not even going to use. The only thing that we need Canada Post for is your single envelopes, your regular envelopes, your Christmas cards and your bills. That's about it. Anything package-wise, going private is cheaper. So a lot of the YouTubers that I've seen, I'm sure there's a lot of other businesses too that, went through this now, realized that, oh shit, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see. Canada Post, the posties did not get the deal that they were hoping for. And I think now that they're going to see the drop in the business because we realized, oh shit, it's a lot cheaper going somewhere else. Canada Post might be a thing of the past. So that's another thing that we're so thinking that could never go, right? That might, you know what I mean? Yep. So nothing is safe, I would say, at this point. And so.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's go to here. Let's go to here first. And then Lucky, anything else you want to chip in here?
One more. I got one more left.
One more. Okay.
By June, July of 2025, the insurance companies are going to be removing the red tape that's causing a lot of problems with people, because I believe by then the government's going to intervene and realize the insurance companies have made things much worse, and that they can streamline things, and it's become too much. And when some insurance companies are much more fairer than others, the government's going to be like, why is this? They're going to start investigating, causing the insurance companies with all the red tape to pull back and say, hey, we'll work things down and make things better for our patients,
Yeah. I agree.
That's it.
I agree. Something's got to be done. So, I mean, that insurance world is so complicated, and insurance rates have been going up dramatically. People have been complaining, insurance and taxes and all of these other things have gone through the roof for a lot of people. So,
well, the problem is that they're making record profits.
Yes.
It's the big raise prices because it's more expensive with more people and blah blah. No, they've been record profits, so they're lying, and it's right there in black and white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a business. They're not doing it for the kindness of their heart. Obviously, it's a business. They want to make money. But, I want to bring up something. I don't know if you guys remember the Georgia Guidestones, but one of their things were to get rid of useless government officials. Well, guess what? Mr. Musk's new job in the cabinet is.
Getting rid of useless
That's
officials.
exactly what he's doing. So everything that the New World Order have said they're going to do, they're right on schedule. Right on schedule. And Trump is front and center of all of that. And so that's what Musk is doing. And he is going to be getting rid of a lot of jobs. And this is what I've been saying. So if you have been relying on this government job, be prepared to find something else.
Well,
a lot of jobs are going to be gone.
The thing is the government employs, our government, United States government employs, I forget how many people. I mean, it's a super vast amount of people. That, and you got to wonder, do they really need all of those people? It's kind of like when you see the county worker out there. One guy holds a shovel, one guy looks and points, one guy there to supervise those two guys, and there's another guy driving the vehicle, and then there's two guys holding a flag, and on both ends, and another guy to supervise those guys, and another guy who's sitting in the office somewhere by phone supervising all the other guys.
Those days are gone. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
All of that useless management, middle management, all of that useless, government officials, government workers with their pensions. We just can't afford it. And so I'm a Gemini, so I'm going to see it on both ways. I totally agree. Like the Georgia Guidestones, I wasn't in disagreement on except for the first one about eliminating most of us. All the other ones, I agree on that. Like, this place could be a wonderful place to live in if we could just manage it properly. And so, I do see, a bright future. It could be, depending on whose hands it lands in, But in the meantime, though, I feel for all the workers who are about to lose their jobs.
Yeah, I know. I mean, who does? Nobody. I don't wish nobody to lose their job.
No,
because we all feel that we're important and we all work hard.
This anymore.
But especially with things getting so expensive. But at some point, you either need new kinds of employment, new jobs, or you got to get rid of the dead weight, one or the other. Okay, 2025. Here we go. Let's go with the horoscopes. I got something on horoscopes, and it says 2025 to 2026. The Earth and water is becoming air, or fire and air, which is Earth or fire and air is Pluto and Aquarius, and Pluto is the power, and Aquarius is the energy. So that makes this is the shifting of the Earth's energies. If you know anything about that, I don't know that much about it, but the thing is, we're Earth and water. We're turning into fire and air, which is Pluto, and Aquarius, which is power and energy. Make of it what you will. So figure that one out.
Can I intercede one thing? Now that you're mentioning the planets, we noticed the symbols of Mercury. Yeah. Now I wonder if that maybe is the planet that they're talking about. Never thought of that. Maybe it is. Maybe it has something to do with Mercury, which is air, which is communication. You know what I mean? So once you start putting in all that stuff. Yeah,
it could be those things. We got more predictions from Bhagavanga, but we're gonna go with Sadhguru for a second. I don't think I got a picture of Sadhguru, but
I'll be right back.
Okay,
I'll be right back.
Sadhguru, he predicts that there's going to be an increase in solar flares, and if you know anything about anything, solar flares affect you and me through our body, all kinds of things. Lucky, you know anything about solar flares?
Unfortunately, they tend to fry telephone lines, tend to kill satellites. That's our problem. That's going to be bad if a lot of they take out a lot of the satellites. Get in the stratosphere. It does make aurora borealis, which is really pretty, but losing satellites is worse than being pretty lights in the sky.
Absolutely. Now we got
actually, before we move on with that, all these solar flares could take out the power. They keep talking about power outages all the time, so that could be from that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, now we got Bhagavanga. If you haven't heard of her, she is the blind prophet. She died in 1996. She was blinded in a sandstorm where the sand got from like a tornado or some sort of thing that got in her eyes and literally scratched her eyes to the point she couldn't see. But she could see the future. And scientists tested her, and she was within 80% accuracy. What does Bhagavanga say to us? She says that for 2025, or maybe in the future here, a short summary of this will be, we will meet aliens. There will be natural disasters. Well, that's a given. Lots of science and discovery with the mind this year. Science and discovery of our minds. The West Coast, there will be an earthquake with great losses of life and infrastructure. Okay, we will crack the code for human immortality. How about that one? Also, lab-grown organs will become possible. The end of the world will begin in 2025. Let's see, she also predicted the fall of Syria, which just happened. And she says, after that, there will be a war that will break out in the spring. Make of it what you will. Now, she did predict things in the future, and I got a list of them. And those are in 2025. Conflict in Europe will devastate the population. In 2028, we'll just skip ahead a few years, humans will begin to explore Venus as a source, an energy source. In 2033, the polar ice caps will melt rapidly, and sea levels will rise. In 2076, communism will spread across the world. In 2076, yeah, we won't be around for any of that.
That's a bit far out there, isn't it? I don't think I'll be around for that, but.
Oh yeah, I said in the spring. Yes, in the Heather, and in the spring they will have a conflict in Europe in the spring. 2130, humans make contact with aliens. And 2170, we'll never make it to the alien thing, will we? 2170, drought will devastate.
Oh, your audio's off.
Yeah, I thought it was me. Yeah, Robert, you can't hear
Robert,
anything.
your audio's off. He can't hear us.
I can't hear us either.
Oh, now he froze, so it must be an internet thing. Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
Maybe solar storm, solar flare.
Solar
there could be a
flare,
lot
no.
of reasons why the power
back.
will go.
Am I back?
You're
Am I back?
There you go. Okay, thank God.
Okay. Did you miss the 3005? Earth will go to war with civilizations on Mars. And in 3797, humans have to leave the Earth because it's uninhabitable. And in 5079 is the end of the Earth. How about that one?
Wow.
Oh, no.
Yay.
Well, I don't know about all that. You know what I mean? Let's take 1 year at a time, shall we? You know?
Yes. Oh, no, I totally agree. Of course, we have Nostradamus. I don't really have any predictions from him because it was so damn long ago. Somebody in the chat had mentioned this guy, and I'll bring this over here. Mention this guy, and you can look it up. I just didn't have time to research this one, but it mentioned that have you heard of the prophecy of German Alois Imamar? He predicted that the Third World War will start in the Balkans. Hey, isn't that where they're fighting now? Somewhere close to that. It's in Ukraine, but the Balkans is in Europe somewhere there. So there you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
it's all in that area.
Yeah.
So,
man, I can't wait, for the day when that all ends, when they can just, yeah. But
boy. Now, have you heard of this guy? And I don't know if you haven't heard of him. He was the one he got the word of God. Brandon Briggs. He predicted. We went through his about the devil and the thing. He was the one that predicted Trump's getting shot in the ear. Now, how is this guy getting these messages from God? I don't know, but if he's so, my question to you guys is this: if he was so accurate for Trump getting shot in the ear, will he be correct with all his other predictions?
I guess time will tell.
That's right there. So that is what I have for those. I got one last thing. You want to hear what ChatGPT said? ChatGPT told me that AI will be everywhere in 2025 and 5G will expand.
Yeah, I believe that.
On the climate, government will be more aggressive transition to all fuels or alternate fuels.
That's where that car thing comes in, you see? Yeah. I can see that.
Climate. Of course, the government will be more aggressive with climate change in the, and they will will be okay. And then we'll be going to space. We'll be going to Mars or the moon. It wasn't sure. In health, I really don't think we'll be going to Mars. I give that a down. Health, personal medicine and genetic therapy is going to help us live longer. And that goes along with one of the other predictions there where they said, hey, we're going to become, they're going to find the genetic code for mortality. Also, there will be another, virus thing.
That seems to be on the rise right now. I'm telling you guys, it's coming. It's just like 19 right now. Yeah.
And then the culture. It says culture-wise, we'll be going back to remote learning, which goes back to the last thing we talked about. We don't want to talk about too much. We'll be doing remote learning. Social media will become part of everyday life.
It already is. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I know. They're going to want to keep us at home. And so, remote learning, deliveries, all that stuff, is going to be the thing.
Okay. Economic-wise, we will be transitioning into digital currency, CBDCs, and the supply chain will be disrupted.
There you go.
So that's what ChatGPT is saying. It says privacy. There will be more surveillance for your personal data to keep you safe.
Digital ID, which your president-to-be coming up around the corner now is hot and heavy on that one there. He wants it on the land, the sea, everywhere, that digital ID. And so all of this, and with these things, the next disease and all that, that's all just going to be, a way for them to implement this. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be in such a way that we're going to want it, because it's going to be, a need for it, essentially. So,
absolutely. And I totally agree with that. That it's a common. There's no way to get around it. The last one on my list is the Jesus bot, and the Jesus bot said there will be a jump in spiritual growth. Humans will become more enlightened. It says, bring love and completion to make 2025 a great year. So bring love into your life. Embrace it to make a great year. That's what Jesus bot's saying. And the best message of the day goes to Jesus bot. I swear.
Well, the thing is, any bot, right? Like the chat GTP or whatever it is, somebody programmed that into it.
I know.
Right? So obviously they allow us to hear this. So they want us to know this. They're telling us ahead of time.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a
I'm
psychic
just saying,
here.
it's the best one. Everything else was all. I think Lucky, you get a second with the hopefulness of no war and Trump putting out all the fires. If that happens, that's going to be awesome. But like it says, most of these are, But then again, what do us humans like to hear? If we hear about turmoil and death and destruction and war, our ears start to go out. Hey, I want to hear about that. But if it was all good, like, hey, so-and-so helped somebody, and people were good, and poor people were being fed, and houses were being built for people, and rich people were giving away their money to the poor and paying off their loans and stuff, nobody would want to hear about it. Be like, yeah, whatever.
Well, there's two sides to that. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there. You're absolutely right. But on the other hand, there is such a thing called hopium. And the Christian community is big on this. They got this whole end time, of course, community, and I was part of that a long time ago. Anyways, they got this thing called, is it Dazara or something like that? It's a hopium thing where they're thinking that, oh yeah, the economy is gonna, crash, and all our debts are gonna be gone. All our debts are gonna be forgiven. We're all gonna be on equal footing here, and we're gonna all have, what is it called? Basic universal income, which is probably gonna come because, Musk has already mentioned that many times. That seems like to be the only solution because all our jobs are gonna be gone. Well, for whoever remains after the war and whoever's still here, we're going to need some kind of income now, so.
Well, yeah. I mean, I totally agree with that because if you have all these people and they get all laid off and if everybody, if half the society becomes poor and they got nothing to lose, then they're going to do whatever they got to do because they have nothing to lose. I keep telling you, when I talk to people at my job or wherever I find them, I tell them, I says, they're all complaining about what's going on and this and that. I says, are you going to, put down your work and go out there and march in the streets and complain and yell and scream and say you want change? Well, no, I'm going to leave that to somebody else. Well, you know why nobody else is doing it? Is because they all have jobs like you, and you got to go to work every day, and you have responsibilities. But when you lose those responsibilities and lose your job and lose your house, you might as well go protest because you got nothing else to do. And that's why there's not people marching in the streets.
Well, this is why they're going to give us all universal basic income so that most people, and it's a human trait, most people are lazy. If we get our rent paid and whatever, we're just going to sit at home, smoke pot, and play video games all day. No worries. Nobody will do nothing, And so that's going to be most of the population. They're going to look forward to that. There will, however, be a few who, long for purpose. That's, if you're not working, you have no purpose.
Yeah.
That's when people start getting a little unruly and things can happen. So
that was one of the big reasons they had food stamps. Instead of waiting in the soup lines and having people out there in masses, they gave you food stamps, and now you and your family could go to the store and get food without looking like being a beggar or a pauper. Nobody knows that you're poor until you get to the register and you pay and you go on about your day, and you look like everybody else that's rich. You are not in the street because you're going home with your food and you're sitting in your house and you're on some subsidized rent or public housing.
Basically the same thing. It's basically, so instead of giving you food stamps, they're just going to put $2,000 in your account. Here you go.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want with that money. Buy food, rent, whatever. But the only thing that I'm worried about that whole $2,000, because they got that number somehow, is $2,000. Yeah, but how much is the rent gonna be in those days then? You know what I mean? Like, is $2,000 gonna cut it? You know what I mean? So
I imagine that they will put restrictions on that, like, okay, this is your money you're gonna get. Well, then now you have to live. These are the approved houses you can live in, and those rents are controlled so that they don't. Because if I was a landlord in one of those houses, I'd say, I know you're getting 2,000. You can give me 1,000. You know, or
Now you
maybe
got
you
a
can give
bunch
me
of ghettos.
1,500 because I know you get 1,500. Give me 1,500. You can live on $500.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Mhm.
so I imagine the government's going to control the rent. It's going to control how much you buy it for food, and what you can buy whatever food you want, but it's going to be limited to certain varieties. Now, like you couldn't spend all your money on soda pop. But you'd have to buy so many vegetables, so many fruits, so many meats, or you'll be regulated against certain things, like probably meat. You can buy the bug food all you want, but you can't buy the beef.
Yeah, so what they're also going to implement at the same time, the only way they can do this is by having the social credit score, okay? And a carbon usage. So we all use carbon, right? So they're going to control how much carbon you can use, which means that, oh, you can only drive your car for 2 hours a week. Or yeah, you can only use your stove for so long, or you know, or if you do something wrong, they'll take off credit. You know what I mean? So that will be the only way that they can do it. And yeah, they can completely control you, and they're going to put us into 15-minute cities, of course. That, well, like you said, the rent will be controlled there. The prices of everything will be controlled there. You know, and everything is available within 15 minutes, which means, hey, you don't need to have a car, right? So the carbon thing then will be, well, you can only fly domestic once a year. You can only go and see grandma once a year, or whatever.
You're right. You're right. But the thing is everything that you think is free comes with a price. The price is, are you willing to give up whatever it costs to get what you want? And is it really what you want? Or, you know, that's the thing. You're paying a price for free stuff regardless. It's not free because you're giving up your rights, your freedoms. Lucky, you'd said it earlier before about the spirits, where you have free will to do whatever you want, but somebody starts controlling your free will, then you're not free, are you?
Well, this is why we got to resist. And the way to do it right now is to get rid of your debit and credit. Use cash. Go in and to the bank and physically take out your paycheck. Just leave in there what you need for the bills. That's it. Use cash. Use it at the cash register. More and more places now don't even take cash, or if they do, they don't know how to count it. They know nothing about it. We're so desensitized from cash, and that is the only way to stay private. You know, like I love it. I've been going cash now for over a year, and getting that bank statement. That's a one piece of paper. This is what comes in. This is what goes out. That's it. There's none of these 15 million purchases that I did where the bank and everybody can see exactly where I spent the money, how much, when I spent it. No, I'm done with that whole system. And this is me, you know, resisting the system. And that's what you got to do. Yeah, it's inconvenient. Yeah, you got to go to the bank. Yeah, you got to sit there and count out cash sometimes. And the person behind you is like, old lady with the cash again. You know, I can see them. You know, but I don't give a fuck. I just tell them, say, hey, you know what? I'm trying to preserve cash here. I'm doing it for all of you, for all of us, you know, so that we can get back to the way it was. But, you know, it's just so hard to get people on board when it comes down to action, to do something about it. Oh, well, you know, what can I do? You know, I'll just sit here and whatever. I'll listen to the video, but I'm not going to do anything about it. You know, it's very frustrating, to be honest with you. But at least I'm doing my part. I'm doing what I can, and that's all I can control. So.
Oh yeah, I know. Look at this. Christmas. California needs some sort of rent control. 2005, my rent was $1,050. In 2019, it was $1,700, and when I moved out in 2020, the next tenant paid $3,800. Wow, you better have a hell of a good job for that. That's all I'm
that's
saying.
Like me too. When I moved in here 11 years ago, I paid $750 a month, including a parking stall. Now, the people that move into my building, they start at 14 plus parking stall and whatever. Like double. Wow. It's gone up double the rent. Yeah, in 11 years I've been here. So, and that's in the ghetto area. If you go and rent privately, yeah, you're up to $3-4 grand for a family for sure. Oh yeah.
You better never move.
I can't. I'm stuck here now. That's the thing. I'm stuck here now until I can get in to affordable housing. which isn't that affordable anymore. You know, it's not like it used to be. But it's years and years of waiting, and you got to work the system. You got to know what you like. You got to know the system in order to work it. And that's one thing I got from my mom. My mom was very street smart, and she knew the system, and she taught me how to do it. And so I played it's a game. That's what we're down here for. We're playing a game, you know. And so you got to know how to play it. So yeah,
play the best game you can. Nina, you want to tell us about tomorrow's show before we go?
Okay. Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to kind of continue, but we're going to do a year in review and go back and look at 24, all the sort of main things. I went on this one site, and it has day by day by day from last year, and we're definitely not going to go through all of that. So I'm going to pick out the things that I think is important, because most of the days last year are all war. Oh, we went and did bombing in over here, and we did it, you know, all of it. It's like, my God, like I can't wait for a future where that's gone. Where
like I said before, but that's what humans like to hear. You know, what plane crashed, what war went on, who got bombed, you know, what leader got assassinated.
I was going to say, like, leaders die that way. We did have a few leaders die with plane crash and helicopter crash. It's kind of interesting how
I know, but I'm just saying that's what people glue their ear to. You know, it's like that they were saying the news goes way up during the election, and as soon as the election's over, it's like somebody just shut the faucet off. So
that's true.
But anyway, join us over there tomorrow, everybody. We'll be on Nina's channel too. I guess we're both on your channel right now. But anyway, Lucky, what do you got coming up this week?
I don't know.
You've been pumping out the videos like crazy with that drone and doing messages and things like that. Affirmations, I should say. But anyway, you've been pumping them out this week or this last week or so.
I just do what I enjoy. I mean, the drone is basically it's stupid. It doesn't do much. It can't avoid anything. But it's pre-programmed and everything is inside, so there's no internet or anything like that. It's just all self-contained. So it's a fun little thing, you know. I mean, that's the thing. It's no GPS, nothing to worry about them tracking me. It's just this little guy, and it films for me, and then I use that. Sometimes it records audio, sometimes it doesn't. I'm still working on that, but it's fun to play with.
Nice. Like it. And Esoteric Tea coming up Friday?
Courtney, we're going to move it to Saturdays now.
Oh, okay.
But it's going to be Saturdays like 8, you know. It's
in the morning or evening?
Evening. No, don't worry. It won't. Eastern time.
Oh, okay.
Totally. Okay. Two time zones away. It'll never affect this show.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious, trying to get your updates, man. Don't worry, links are in the description for Lucky's channel. Go over there and watch him fly his drone and listen to some affirmations and some good messages. Lots of little shorts. You'll enjoy it. So get on over there, sub to his channel, and check out his shorts. Keep you entertained all day long. I love them myself. So
I got links for Lucky and Robert's channels, all 3 channels, in the description down below as well. And of course, lots of other links of ways to support the channel. If you'd like to, go and check out the links down below.
Yeah,
and
now remember,
like and share, people.
Yeah,
Both
remember, Nina does not have Patreon no more, so you have to support her other ways. So don't go to Patreon and think you're going to get there.
Hit me up on the PayPal. Put a little PayPal in my stocking. I still have it up. So, you know, if you want to,
All right. With that, before everybody leaves, well, we're going to say adios and goodbye. Thank you for a great year. And we will see you tomorrow night. Remember, it's not about what next year's going to be. It's about what you're going to make it be. For you, in your own little bubble, your program, it's your life. Live it. Don't worry about the wars and the catastrophes. Yeah, they might affect you some or a lot. I don't know. But it's your life. Live. Don't hide in the closet. Don't sit around and watch the TV.
I gotta mention this too. Like, just because we're telling you a bunch of things doesn't mean that you should go and run and be scared. You know, you still got to live your life, enjoy every moment that you have, you know, people around you, like all the little things, obviously, that should go, you know, without saying. But at the same time, you know, as an adult, you know, you got to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. You know what I mean? And then have some fun in the meantime. Absolutely.
Make every day a great day. Spread the joy a little bit to your neighbor, your friends, family, whoever it might be that's special in your life. And then pick somebody who you don't even know and try to spread some joy with a smile. I don't know, however you want to do it. And with that, remember, everybody, be the frequency you want to receive, everyone. Love you all. Peace, everybody.